Hey, welcome back. Excited to have you back on our Vista YouTube videos. It's exciting to have you here. Last week we talked about the awesome step of designing and drafting the home of your dreams. This week we're going to talk about how to create a budget from the design that we've had our drafters complete. So once we get that design back from our drafters, then we want to make sure we create a budget that's going to be reflective of how much it's realistically going to take to build that. That way, when we're working with the bank to pay all the bills, that there's money to do so. So what we're going to do then is we're going to actually have you come into our selection room. This is one of the selection rooms we have here in Logan, Utah. You can see a lot of different options to choose from. We have cabinetry, countertops, tile, all different sorts of things you can pick and choose. We're literally going to go through every step of the home and go through every single selection. And we're going to talk about drywall, trim, paint, flooring, carpet, roofing supplies, everything. And you may say, well, that's too much. I don't want to decide all that in one time, and I don't blame you. That's a lot. So we try to take that in a cautious yet patient approach to see as much as we can decide. We try to decide that at that time. And you may say, well, I don't want to make all those decisions right now, and you're not wrong. That's hard to do. But what we found out is if we can make as many decisions as possible in the front of the process of building a home, that helps both of us. And let me explain why. First, for you, two reasons. If we can build your house in a time-efficient way, not in a reckless, fast way, but in a time-efficient way, then you're going to pay less interest on your construction loan. Meaning instead of spending, let's say, 12 to 14 months, you build it in 6 months, you could literally save $10,000 to $15,000 in interest alone. So if we can be efficient in building your home, that literally saves you a ton of money. The other way it's going to help you out is what we call decision fatigue. Meaning if we decided every single thing along the process, you're going to get really tired of hearing us call you and asking you questions and getting pricing. If we can just do that up front at one time and really get a good approach to building the home, that's going to just be a real lifesaver for your, for your sanity, really. And so we find this to be the most efficient way to move forward. Now, obviously, there's going to be things you're going to say, hey, I want to try this, and we may not have firm numbers for that, so we got to go out and get it quoted. Or you may say, hey, I want to do this a little bit different. And so there's some flexibility there. And so as we work with our clients, we use Builder-Trend. Builder-Trend is a software app that you can use on your phone to look at the different selections you make and to be able to ask questions as far as what's working and what you might want to do different, and allowing change orders is essentially changing something from what the initial design said to what you wanted at a different time. So there's mechanisms along the way to make those changes, so there's some flexibility there, but we're just trying to be as time efficient as we possibly can be. So once we make all those selections, as we go through that process, your project manager is going to be in that meeting, and he's going to be going through the budget. And when you make a certain selection, he's going to make sure that initial estimate, the number we had, is a good number to use. And so if he sees something what we call a budget buster, he's going to raise his hand and say, hey, I think we're going to need some more money based on 2 bathrooms, and you have this price, we need to adjust this to this price. And it may be more, maybe less, but the more accurate we can make those budgets at that early stage, the more effective your loan process is going to be, and less stress for everybody. So he'll be there to kind of quality control that process. So once we go through that full selections process, we're going to get some numbers to put together, and we'll be able to create a firm budget to give the bank. And the bank will then be able to take that and create and finalize the loan for you. So typically that takes another couple, 2-3 weeks. During that process, we're going to start getting all your permits in line. So when the bank is funding and they say, hey, we're ready to go, our permit's ready to pick up, and we can immediately start building your home. So next week we'll talk about how the permitting process, all the different steps and that it takes. And as you can imagine, every city has different requirements, so we're just going to pretty much hit all the ones I can think of, and I'm sure I'm missing some. But anyways, join us next week. Also, remember, go click subscribe, share this video with everyone you possibly know. We're going to try to get this out and share all this good information with everybody. So appreciate it. If you have any comments, post them below. Thank you.